What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 3. So straight into unlocking the school there you saw pop up. So what I want to do now is get a couple of these down straight away. It's important to make sure that as soon as you unlock the schools, you need to get, I'd say at least one down, but I like to put a couple down. Spreading them round just makes it easier for the nuggets travel-wise. Doesn't give any other benefits than that, really. But as you upgrade, every building and all your buildings will require them to be educated. So if you find that you don't do the schools, you will eventually run out of nuggets to be able to do any of the jobs that you want them to do if you continue to upgrade. So if you're upgrading, then schools are a priority for you. So I'll place a few of these down. Obviously, a little bit later on in the episode, we'll be naming the Highlander nuggets that have been requested by the guys and girls on the chat in the comments. So we will get to that. Obviously, the original 5 are the diamonds, and then anybody that's named after the fact will be, I will use a love heart for the viewers. So at least while we're playing the game and all you're watching, etc., you will see the Immortals that are specifically named walking around. I could put another icon on the rest, but there is quite a few actually. I think there's about 20, 30, so there's quite a lot. So I don't think I'll bother with that. I'll just leave it with the originals and then the viewers. So just checking over the planet here and then checking that my research doesn't run out, and indeed it's not going to. We have got 30 discovery points, but really Divine Punishment gives double 50% increased chance of twins, so I'm going to go for that one because that's a nice big gap. You will also get, I think it's 15% from the happiness meter. Obviously at the minute you can see that they're a bit sad, but when they are as happy as they can be, that's an additional 15%, so that gives us 65% chance of twins. I don't believe triplets, etc. are a possibility, so that's as good as you can get as far as I'm aware. And then all you need to do from that point on is increase the life expectancy. Now that's for non-Highlanders in theory, because the Highlanders are supposed to live forever. We just need to keep the plague away from them and hope that nothing drastic happens. My issues really are keeping an eye on them. I have turned off the death alerts, but that's only the death alerts for old age, which should not matter for the Highlanders because they don't and can't die of old age. So coming back here, and I've done yet another one of my Everybody Loves Everybody spell things. I've got quite a lot of points still. But obviously when you first start, there's not that many to go by, so it's a bit more difficult. Just playing around with the icons here. I was going to use pizzas for the viewers, but I changed it to love hearts when I actually did it. This is just before it's part of the first recording. So technically part of the first episode that didn't get out because the episode got to maximum time. So I'm just playing around with it there, nothing too exciting. But you can see the original 5 are still the diamonds. So unlocking the iron mine, we'll get them down straight away. The few items, so there is the upgrade for the hospital available, which requires iron. So of course that's important. And the farms, which I haven't actually triggered to upgrade yet. Neither have I with the hospitals, because there's no point making a hospital wait for an upgrade if the resources aren't there in the first place. What I've realised is if you actually just don't upgrade everything all in one go and do it strategically, you'll find that the labourers have enough spare time that everybody jumps on it, so it gets done a lot quicker, as opposed to if you just upgrade everything you can possibly upgrade all in one go by the buttons. You'll find that they'll be willy-nilly all over the place. Some buildings will be half done, some will be not half done, but either way, even throughout that whole process, they're not working right, so that could affect you quite negatively. There's a celebration there for yet another nugget being nominated as the leader. Now, going into here, we have just unlocked the defense tower and the garrison as well. And now I'm going to shut down at least 2 garrisons straight away because, as you're aware, the garrisons work when the winter
Hunting
is here.
an essential
So that means
survival
fishing
tool.
and farming
When
stop.
the lakes are
Garrisons
frozen and
do
bushes
not.
no longer bear fruit, hunting will keep your
And he's
nuggets alive.
basically saying what
I
I've just
never
said
thought
there. He
I'd see
mentioned the
day
berries as
that
well.
Nuggets ascend the food chain. They always struck me as lesser beings.
Recreational wise, we've got the local businesses unlocked as well, so I'll chuck a few of them down. The good thing about those is they are tiny, but I am not putting them down if the road is red. So future proofing, but in the future we should have roads going through all of these areas as expected, which means we won't be slowing down the nuggets. Try and get a few of these down wherever I can because it increases the mood and they are tiny and quite cheap to build. So all in all, it makes it worthwhile to get those down. There's no control level what type of one you build. There's 3, I think, that they turn into. But I was going to put one there, but then I changed my mind and decided to go with that because I want to put on that very tip the lighthouse when we unlock the lighthouse. And then UFOs just come into the planet. So we'll go and hunt him down and wipe him out ASAP. And we found him. And there he goes, and he's dead. Simple, mushy, simple, nice and easy. 2 lightning bolts and they fall out of the sky. We'll rebuild that residential, and it was like nothing ever happened. Okay, so this is the part where we start naming the Highlanders based on the viewers' requests. I will, of course, do any and every request I can, unless I run out of them, of course, so that's why I'm doing it in order. Going with the oldest in terms of the Highlanders first, and then in the order of which the comments were made. Now, I'm a bit crap at you can't name them from that screen, which is really annoying, so you have to zoom into the nugget, click on the nugget, and change the name that way, as you can see. So this first nugget is Jojo, so thank you for the request, Jojo. And there is your nugget. It looks like you are... Yes, you are a professor. You are teaching in the school. Just change the logo over to a love heart as well, like I said. So all viewers will be love hearts. So you'll see them wandering around the city or wherever, whatever it is they do in the future. And when they get a nice new snazzy car, you'll see them, hopefully, if they live that long, doing that too. Second here, which is a priest or a prayer person, that is Poke. Thank you very much for the request there. So we'll get you named and iconed, and then you can go back to praying, and then we'll pick on the and like I said, I'm just doing it in the order of the thing. If you've got any special requests, then please do put them in and I'll try and achieve that if I can. When we get to the clone chamber, you are going to be able to basically pick whatever you want, even the colour, everything, but we ain't got that yet, so don't put them requesting yet. That'll be confusing. So I did just name somebody, right? Yeah, so 𝐂𝐍𝐍, your request was to give one or the other name, so I thought, well, why not use both, because there is second names unlocked, so I'll use it. So 𝐂𝐍𝐍 Skies Fury 851, thank you for the request, and there you go. And as I said, I'm a bit crap, so I'm just marking you there. You can do it on the main screen, but it is what it is, right? And then we'll jump over. I am going to go through all of these on this first instance because it's the first time I've done this. Future, I'll probably just skip over it, depending on how many there is. But there is only 6 or 7. And the next one on the list is Soulrim, so we'll get you named and iconed. Nicely done. We're shooting over to yet another one. Now this one, it seems that you're already working with somebody that is named, but awkwardly it made it a bit hard for me to grab them because they were within the building. But getting hold of them there, we can change this person, and I didn't do the second name because I am an idiot. So a request from the chat again is Connor MacLeod. I think is how you pronounce that. Sounds very Scottish. Of course, from the Highlander program, looking like one of the main characters in there. So you are named and starred, and I think this is the last one, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong often. So yeah, this is the last one, pretty sure. So then the last one coming in from the chat is Handy Mandy. So there you go, named and iconed. Thank you very much for the request. Any additional requests going forward in the series while the series is active, if I can do it, I will. Any additional requests on top of the names, I will also try and accommodate if I can. There is still 20 to 30 nuggets to name, so we're not short on the nuggets. We're just short on the comments. So feel free, give it a go, and let's crack on with the actual city now. And keeping up again with the research, so getting over there, you can see we're getting some mining done. There is a bit of weightlifting for the 20 points that I did have available, so I'm going to do that to increase the carry capacity. Because until we get couriers, we're relying on all of the nuggets individually to accommodate all of the moving of all of the resources, and specifically the labourers, because it's their job. Iron mine's going up. This one's close. I built 2 to start with. So what I'll do is that one is now being built, all resources have been delivered, and as soon as they're finished and I have a little bit of iron in the bank, I will then trigger getting the hospitals upgraded first, and then the farms done second, just to make sure that the hospitals are done immediately, because I do not want them out of action. I think I've only got 2 or 3. And again, remember that Highlander, your infection is important to keep under control, or just 0. And unlocking words of the bunkers, I am now going to get these placed down, and luckily these are nice and tiny as well. Now, this is something that I like to do. It doesn't usually pay off that often, to be honest, because apart from like the firestorm, or what I can't remember what it's called, but the deep freeze, whatever it's called, the rest of them, these are a bit unnecessary. But what I like to do is get these spread out well and frequently around the whole entire area, so that the nuggets don't have to walk too far, or the bare minimum. Now, each one of these will decrease your happiness and increase your crime rate quite significantly. So before you do this, make sure you have a well-versed infrastructure of the parks and the recreation buildings, which I do. So I'm going to get, like I say, these spread out. The idea is I don't want them to walk or need to walk for more than about 30 seconds before they're in shelter. The firestorm will kill nuggets out in the open, and it randomly sets fire to buildings. Not the bunkers, though. And the deep freeze does the same, but it doesn't really do any damage to the buildings that I've seen, but it does a lot more damage to the actual nuggets. So there we go. That's them down. Just need to wait for them to get built, of course, but they don't take too long because there's not much work involved in them. The second stage, of course, there is, and you can see the hospital there. I'm just checking it. We do have 27 iron now, so we'll crack on getting them hospitals upgraded. The farms are waiting, and I am not going to do the farms until the hospitals are complete. Okay, so coming back, there's been a bit of an issue that I'm not entirely sure what happened. Lisa Simpson, as you can see, one of the 5 Immortals is gone. Now, if she's dead, I don't know how. I have checked, double-checked, and rechecked. Even the video that I'm editing now, there is nothing at any point that says that she died. There's nothing that happened. No one got infected, and there was no powers used by me that could cause her to die. So I don't know whether it's a bug or if something else happened. I don't know, to be honest. I've looked through the whole video and I've just checked, and she's died within, obviously what you're seeing now, I'm talking over now, she died within 2 minutes of this, because previous to this there was 5 and now there is 4, and the population, as you can see, 138 and 4 children. That didn't drop. I mean, it just dropped there, so somebody died, but for when Lisa disappeared, nobody died, according to that chart. So there seems to be a bug there. Now, I could put her back in, but I'm not going to, on the basis that she was one of the originals, and I've decided that she's been... she basically jumped in the UFO and flew back, so she's on the moon. I don't know. She flew away. Maybe she got bored. Who knows? To be fair, we've got plenty of Highlanders. I could rename, but it just doesn't keep the same premise, and obviously the age wouldn't match, because as you can see, she would be the same age as Bart, and Bart is 99. She would be 99, and there is nobody that's old enough to do that. That's not 99, that's 90, sorry. And Marge and Homer, which are the eldest of all, are 94. So they're already hitting numbers that we wouldn't normally see. I'm just going through, actually, because what happened was, when it happened, I thought, oh, crap, people are poisoned, and it's not told me. So I'm going through and just spam healing everybody just in case. Now, there wasn't. I've double-checked. So it's got to have been a bug, unless somebody knows something different. There is nothing that could have happened to Lisa to have killed her off. But we are now down to 4 Immortals, and then the viewers. And we'll see from here how we go. You can see I'm just checking all of the events and everything, but the only one that is turned off is old age, and Immortals or Highlanders can't die from old age. And then just to reiterate on what we was just talking about, I'm actually going round my cemeteries now, and I'm turning off all of the pyres so that any and all corpses, deceased, will be buried. Nobody will be cremated. So that if anything like this happens again, whether it be a viewer or it be one of the original 4 that are left, they should get buried, right? And when they get buried, it tells you how they died. Now in the top left-hand corner you see the root of the problem, which is the tentacle. So we're going to have to give him a few lightning strikes to deal with him. So I'll come over here and just get that out of the way. It's a standard quest that you all get. This one's one of the easier ones to get. I'm hoping as well that between this episode and the next episode there will be a how to get the Highlander, how to complete the quests video coming out for you. Nobody's requested it, but I can't see how it would hurt, because I do feel that, for me anyway, it was the most difficult one. So at least if I put something out there and anybody's struggling, they can have a nice video aid that shouldn't take more than about 10-15 minutes to give them exactly what they need to do to be able to play along with this, because I still do think this is the best gene nugget thing that we have available to us at the moment. So with the expedition camp researched, we can get that built. We are on a timer, but we've got plenty of time, though I did prioritize it, and as you saw, immediately an army of nuggets are making their way over to get that building built. Now, it doesn't really increase, prioritizing doesn't necessarily increase how quick they build the building, because the builders, they can only have a maximum of 3. Obviously, it makes sure that all 3 are on there instead of 1 or 2. But what it does help with is getting the resources delivered, because that it can put over, I think it's 8 or 10 nuggets helping out there. And of course, if we're increasing our ability to for them, the capacity for them to hold, that will then increase the speed in which delivered goods can arrive. Couriers are the better option for this, but we still don't have them yet, and we haven't got quite to them yet. But as soon as we do, I'll chuck a load of them down. So a bit more building out here, just to make sure as we spread, we have engineers' huts, we have reservoirs, glass factory coming in here, and I realised that where I've just put that building, it's in the way, so I'll quickly just move that out the way and then rebuild it. That's better. So we've got a reservoir here and the engineers' hut, and then the glass factory. So that's our next research coming in. The glass factory, the gas mines, and the oil jacks are close by. I believe it's on the research at the minute. You can see it's quarrying, so that unlocks the stone quarry. And an expedition camp has been completed, and the quest has been completed also. So we're good there. I'm obviously not going to be doing any time yet. Just need to make sure that I've got an infrastructure first, and I'm not sure. I can't determine whether I do or don't send the Highlanders, because you can't select who you send, you just pick how many. So there's that to contend with, and I don't know if they can actually die on there or not. They shouldn't be able to, but no, my luck, they will. So I need to just do a bit of research on that, and I'll probably do a bit of a test game just to see if I can figure out how to safely not throw the Immortals into the core of the planet. Skipping winter, if I can afford to, I always will. It's hideous on the resources and it's hideous on the eyes, so we will get that cleared up as soon as we can, and then straight over to see if we can find any magic boxes. And then looking down there in the bottom, you saw the terrifying sign of an infected zone. So we go over and see that, yes, in fact, somebody is decaying on the floor. So I get that immediately healed, and you can see that there's not too many that are infected by it. But within a few seconds, you heard that pop. Now 5 are. So contagious is the word, and people do spread very rapidly with that plague. So we need to get that dealt with right now. So putting it obviously in health order, you'll always get the people that are the least health, but also plagued first, and then we'll chuck out that to heal up absolutely everybody that we can. This way, nobody should die, right? I've checked, and as of the last save before I made any of these videos, we still had all of the viewers and the 4 Immortals as planned. Now, picking up this nugget, there's clearly not a graveyard nearby, so this is me being an idiot and not following the same rules that I tell everybody to follow, and that's keeping up with the cemeteries. So I'll go straight over, and you can see there's just a bit of an area there where it's lacking. So I will get one placed in there. But on that note, the end of the episode is nigh because it is on 20 minutes. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome. Again, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.